Alright artists, welcome to this painting abstract tutorial. I have a variety of materials that you can see there. You just use whatever you've got. This is our color inspiration book here. It's an excellent book. Every page, different color. I have some watercolors. We also have pattern inspirations. I like to think about what colors I want to use in my art before I start, and then also which kind of patterns I'm getting excited about. So look through some books, look around your house, and get some ideas for inspiration for an abstract painting. This video, it took me 45 minutes of painting, and I could have spent another 2 hours. It was so much fun. But I condensed it all into a short video. Here I am flipping through the pages of this book, and I'm finding that there are some excellent things in this book, like that page with the blue right there. And I also really like the lines that are on that, the fur of the bear. And I liked how the paint is layered on top. It's called glazing. When you let one layer dry and then you put another layer of thin watercolor on top, you can see through that and notice it. I'm just flipping around in this book and pointing out things that I really like and making a mental note about what I'm excited about most. And I want you guys to do the same thing. Look in your books that you have and look at some of the pictures I post. What colors you're most interested in, and I am pointing out there that I'm most excited about the orange, the greens, and the blues. And your painting might evolve and change. Mine definitely did. This says, see the colors of the rainbow in a whole new light, and that is what we're going to do. So don't try to use all the colors. I drew light, sketchy lines on my paper first with a pencil. You could barely see them, but I just started putting some shapes on the paper to get some ideas of shapes that I felt excited about. Maybe just picking 1 to 3 colors and then trying to stay in that, what we call a color family. So here I go. I'm starting with my washable markers. You don't have to know what you're doing. Just make some lines and then color on your paper. I did pencil, then I did some washable marker, and then now I'm adding crayon. As you might know, crayon does the cool trick of the resist. So I even did a little texture technique there with a little bit of yarn underneath my paper. I used soft edge technique. Now I'm showing off some art that I made in the past. This is a tile that I set my teacup on. Alright, next up is the tape. The tape is getting cut into shapes, and I don't just stick the tape on there without cutting it. I like to make it into cool shapes. If it just looks like you ripped a piece of tape and stuck it on your paper, it doesn't look as thoughtful. So try to be thoughtful with your tape placement and shapes that you put on there. This is now a permanent marker. As you know, when I paint over it, it's not going to move. If you don't have a permanent marker at your house, that might be one thing that if you're able to ask for, that is a really helpful thing if you're going to be doing any painting or getting anything wet. If you want something to stay put with details, it's nice to have one of those permanent markers. Now I'm doing a big watercolor wash, covering my whole area of paper with water, and then I'm going to start dropping in color. Because my paper looks shiny, you can tell that it's wet. You want to have your paper be nice and wet if you want the paint to flow around. That is called a wash, my friends. Very fun to do washes. And my first little drips that I put on my wash were actually an accident. I didn't mean to, and it was a beautiful oops because I realized then that that paper wanted that color right there. It was telling me something. Think about cleaning your brush in between colors and just give yourself some fun. Let the paint flow around. Take your time with it. Sit and look at your art for a while and see what else it needs. Look real close, look far away. I was excited about those little dashed lines that I saw in the book we looked at with the bear, and I realized that I'm starting to make all these dashed lines on my art. I'm just doing whatever comes to my mind and taking my time and also being kind of brave. So if I don't like something, cover it up. If you feel like, ooh, I just want to make a big slash here of paint, go for it. Let it go. Just do remember to not cover up everything that you did before, because you'll just end up with a painting that looks like mud. And while I do like mud, and I have a brown dog, and I love the color brown, it's a great color, you don't really want your whole paper just to turn brown, because you miss out on all the cool stuff that's happening behind it. So do layer things, but when I'm painting, I'm skipping around to different parts of my paper because those different parts dry as I paint, and if I go back again after a little time, one part might be kind of dry and I can add some more layers on top of it. These are the materials I used. Use whatever you have on hand. Here is my finished painting. Enjoy the painting process. Get started creating your own expressive abstract art. Number 1, look at books and/or objects for inspiration. Notice colors, lines, shapes, textures, and patterns that you enjoy. Number 2, choose your color scheme. Primaries, secondaries, warm colors, cool colors, monochromatic, or another color scheme. Just choose 2 to 3 colors and mainly focus upon that in your artwork. Number 3, grab your materials and get started. Sarah used the following materials in her painting: thick paper, pencil, crayon, washable markers, permanent marker, painter's tape, scissors, watercolors, paintbrush, cup, and towel. Happy making! Sarah.